Hello, this is my intro. Okay, so a couple weeks ago I was with my family and we went to the mall and there was a Lego store. I had some time to kill and, well, I made some decisions and here we go. So I figured I'd put some of these together and yeah, show you guys. I already did one. It was just a little Dungeons and Dragons mini figurine. Looks like it's a ranger of some kind. This, by the way, is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Lego at all. It's just a little hobby I used to do as a kid, putting these together, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. Yeah, so I already did that one, and I realized, oh, maybe I should record this, so here we are. Haven't done a video in a long time, so I'm out of practice. There we go. I'm going to jump in just a minute. In here, we have Lego, and I got a truck, for lack of a better word. So, Land Rover Classic. The yellow of it reminded me of the castle kits I used to get that was yellow castles and whatnot. So I figured I'd do this. It says it's 150 pieces for ages 8+. The number is 40650 in case you wanted to get one for yourself and do it. Haven't built Lego in a very, very, very long time. So I figured let's give it a try. Okay, so here we go. Just going to create a little bit more workspace here. This is my temporary workplace where I do a lot of little things, a little bit of minor woodworking, leatherworking, things like that. So I have this kit. Let's go ahead and get that opened. Forgive the squeakiness of my chair. It's new, but it's well used. There we go. Just put that back down. I'll use this to collect garbage as I go if there's any bags and stuff in there. Let me get the lighting a bit better. A little bit better. Okay, let's go about putting this together. I haven't done one of these kits since I was probably an early teenager, like 12, 13. So I'm significantly older than that now. So one bag, two bag. We have some stickers or decals or decals as we used to call them back in the day. Okay, there we go. Empty box. I'm going to leave this up here for a reference. Looks like we have a couple of bags. And the instruction booklet. One big piece that apparently didn't fit in the bag. I may fast forward a little bit about this when I post it to YouTube just to make it a little faster. Just trying to straighten out the book. It's a little curved. I am by no means a expert at doing this. But I figured you might want to follow along. Yeah, back in the day I had a big, what would probably be now a paper box, and I had probably 6 or 7 different Lego kits from when I was a child, and yeah, everything from spaceships to castles. The castle was my first big one. Me and my father, I got it for Christmas. My father helped me set it up. I think he was having just as much fun as I was. So here we are. So it looks like it's talking about putting the person together first, which I guess we could do. Just probably going to try to separate this into general bags. Or maybe not. So there's the head of the person in this bag, there's the torso in this bag. So it could be distributed all throughout the bag. Just checking if these are recyclable. It doesn't indicate. sticker out to the side. Do the person first. Getting some of the big pieces over to the side. There we go. There's the legs. When I was a child, I didn't have these little pieces, things like that, little one-offs. Definitely more rectangular. Like this was about as fancy as the ones were when I was a child. They, of course, evolved over the years, but you know. When I had my big box of Legos, the little tiny pieces like these were always in the bottom corners, so you're going to leave a small piece, you just dig to the bottom corner. I would never, or very rarely, dump it all out and start working on something, because that was just a headache to try to clean up later. Usually kept it in the box. So we're putting together the person who's driving the vehicle, although I think the Ranger Lego that I built earlier may also participate in this vehicle. There's the hair, looking for the head. And that brings me right back. Where did I see that? Ah, there it is. And the hair. We now have the driver ready to go. Sounds great. Come over here to the side. So now we start with, looks like the big one. Just going to do a quick count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep, the big one. That was on its own. Start with there. And again, this might be where I start to just do a little bit of a fast forward where it goes like just to speed it up on YouTube. I might not. We'll find out. Alright, so in the center, we have a grill on each side. Flip it over. Yeah, they seem to come together about how I remember. Way back in the day. Like how they tell you to flip it over. Oh, they got a little progress tracker at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that here. This little person who's walking down the... I assume that as you get further along, yep, they get to the end. That's cute. Alright, so we're going to go back up to the top, page 4. And we're going to put in the wheel holders. These. Okay. There. So it looks like that. Now the yellow connectors that will eventually hold the wheels. I might put the wheels on at the very end because I don't want it rolling around as I'm going. That's that. Intriguing. It's a 2x2, but without the flat. Ah, here it is. I was looking at the wrong color. So now we're turned it over. Did I miss a page? Yes, I did. I missed a page. There we go. Put that on like that. Step 5 that I missed. Now we're all on the same platform. So I put this one here to lock that end into place. And then we take 2 of these. Oh wow. I already made a mistake. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Here we go. Right to the very end, number 6. Now we'll do these. Like so. Put these on the back, as I am calling it the back. I assume that this is the front, in orientation with the picture. And, oh, I see, it tells you the number of. That makes sense. That I was not checking before. Okay. All 4 of those. And now we're putting on the 2 back parts. Right on top. Like so. And now the big gray piece. It overlaps like that. Good even pressure all the way around. Two, one, yeah. I'm going to put one of these on the back. And this yellow piece up here at the front. Right here. Although it does show white. So I made a mistake. I'm going to take that yellow off. Put on the white one. And the right orientation this time. Okay. The front. Middle. And back. It creates part of the setting up the wheel well. It's kind of neat. There we go. Now we put the front 2 on, apparently. Okay, there we are. Voila. And the center consoles. Looks kind of interesting. Okay. And then the steering wheel. Right behind it. So we're going to take one of these. Now it does show black, but I think, yeah, no, I don't have the black one. So that one, and then one of these, but with a cap on it. Yeah, here we go. That will go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will go here. Second from the front. Spin it around just a little bit. Okay, these are unique pieces. Definitely didn't have these when I was a kid. So that piece there. And this piece here. Like so. And then we put another 2 by 1 by 3. There it is. 2 by 1 by 3 high. Like that's a 1 high. That's a 3 high. At least that's the way I see it. I'm sure that the nomenclature over the years has changed a lot since I was a child in my own way of deciding how to label these things. I'm not up with the lingity of the kids these days. So I'm having a hard time finding this one piece. It looks like it might be this, but it's showing black. And that looks like that's hollow. Okay, so the hollow one there. That's kind of gray. Okay, just, yeah, it looks a little grayer than the black piece at the bottom. Alright, let's just go with that. I wonder if this is the engine. Oh, it looks like it's a front piece. Okay. So now we have the black connector. Put it in the one on the left. And the flat top for the 4 by 1. There it is. 4 by 1 by 1 to be precise. Locks it in. It's there. And here we have, we're putting in the headlights. Or is this? No, it's probably the tail lights. There's one with a stoplight and an orange light. Don't drop that, that would be bad. And where's the other one? There it is. With the stoplight. And the orange light. There we go. Orange light, of course, being the turn signal. And then, it looks like on the back, flip it around, put this down. Okay, so now we go back to step number 21. We're putting this on the back. Yes. There we go. Okay. Now 2 by 1 by 1. Well, not 2, but 8 by 1 by 1. And that goes, see, right up there. Ah, I see. Put that one on too soon. Helps to have nails when you're playing with Lego. So you need a 1 by 1 by 1 underneath, 1 by 4 by 1 on top. So it looks like that. And that goes back here. And we do that twice. And 1 by 1 by 1. And a 1 by 4 by 1. And then that goes on this side. Yeah, okay. And then a 1 by 1 by 1 flat top. It's already on the back. It goes on the sides to lock it in. Right back end. These pieces, they go in like that, with one piece showing. Perfect. And grade 1x4x1, and then a custom piece which looks like this. Okay, that goes on top of there for, looks like the dashboard, just behind the steering wheel, or part of the dash. And then this goes right here in front. That's an interesting setup. And then a 2x3x1. Ah, I see, to lock everything in. 2x3x1. Come together quite nicely. Hope that was in focus in the center of the 1x1x1. Put two of them on top of each other. Just spin them so that it's appropriate. That goes here, inside the sloped piece, and 1x1x1. Goes right by the sloped piece. I am also not a representative of LEGO, by the way. I have no vested interest in their company, or their marketing, or advertising, or anything along those lines. I'm just doing this as a journalistic review of putting together a LEGO piece for you. Okay, so now we're up to the front. I'll show you that at the beginning. I'm making this up as I go. And now we've got that piece goes there. And 2x3x1 goes there. Huh. Intriguing. Completely covered up the internals there. Alright. It's an interesting way of doing it. 1x2x1 goes here. 1x2x1 flat goes in front. Oops, that's got a little spot on it. There we go, in front. Same on the other side. 1x2x1. There it is. And then same 1x2x1, but flat. Flat, I mean, as in they don't have the, the attached points. Can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them. That's that done. And now we put on our window frame. Okay. There's a very specific orientation. Make sure I get that done right. Okay, there's the holes at the bottom there. You might be able to see that, might not. And that goes down there with the bottom, so that's facing forwards. So far, so good. Now we're flushing out the windows, apparently. Okay. So now we need a 1x1x3, 6 actually. And that goes here. Oh, I see. 1x1x1 first. There we go. And same thing again. On the other side. We have the back compartment. Putting the glass on. One by 2x1 flat back. 1 by 2 by 1 flat. There we are. We are now at this point. They show us the same thing twice. And then a 1 by 6 by 1 flat goes on the top to lock them in. Now it looks like we're starting on a brand new part. So we take this 1 by 2 by 1 rounded corners. I see, and can't even describe that. Half 1 by 2 by 1. Anyways, yeah, it's an interesting piece. Again, never had these interesting pieces when I was a kid. Okay, that goes here. This goes here. I've created that. Step 36, step 37. Let's put these ones in the center to lock it all in. There it is. Get it all oriented right. Okay, we're now finished step 37. Turn it upside, nope, not upside down. Okay, and that goes there. Just as in the picture. Like so. Just going to quickly check to see if this is yep. Let's zoom in a little. There we go. I zoomed in a little bit for you. Might have been a bit further out. I apologize for that. And that goes in the center. Locks it in. And then 2 white pieces. Oh, this is the front of the car, it looks like. Okay. So we've got headlights. I'm assuming at this point. That kind of looks like a front piece. That's where that is right now. Turn it upside down. We're looking at the side with the gray piece coming in. You know, 1 by 1 by 1. In the back corner. And another 1 by 1 by 1 in that corner. Now it looks like it's talking about the sticker goes here. Oh, on the front. Okay, there we go. Over, headlights pointing up, grille pointing out. Put the sticker on. Looks pretty good. Defender. That's centered nicely. And then this goes on the front, like so. There we go. Voila. Nice. We're getting pretty close. So I need a 1 by 4 by 1. Lock in here. miss anything? I think I did. Now that that is on, I must have missed 1x4x1s. Let me go back and confirm. Did that. What I'm looking for is where we put this gray piece on. Back way too far. That piece. And those two. Do that. Yes, there we go. Yes, I missed the 1x4x1s. There we go. Found that as an odd space. There we go. Put 42, put the front piece back on. There we go. So now I want to put the 1x4x1 on right in front of the steering wheel. Now I have the two side pieces for the side view mirrors. And that was my phone. Let me go ahead and put that on mute. Don't forget to stay hydrated, folks. Okay, back to it. Okay, so now we just finish this off, put the pieces with the side view mirrors. I'll get a good angle on that before I lock it in too much. And then now we put on the windshield. Right on top. There we go. Just do a quick cleanup. Get my fingerprints off there. Okay, now we start flushing out the hood. These little corner bits at the front. Those are kind of neat. And then down the center, 2x3x1. And the very center 1x2x1 flat. There we go. That's this part done. And now, one more time. So 1x4x1 flat. And then the corner pieces again. Small little pieces, big fingers. I had smaller fingers when I was a child, of course. Made it slightly easier. And 1x2x1 flat. Perfect. Nice. I like that. Now we put these on for the side view mirrors. And a regular vehicle. And now we put the tires on. We take the centerpiece. And then we put the centerpiece in there. Oh, it's tight fit. Okay, there we go. Orientation does not look to be in any one particular direction for the treads. That's good. So, feels like they thought about that. Here's 3. Looks like they gave you 5 of the rubbers. Nope. Yeah, 5. 5 tires, just in case you lose one, would be my assumption. Oh, one goes on the back. Never mind. not an extra. He's a kitty. We have a kitty cat. He's in the window. Okay, got all 5 tires good to go, and basically just put them on. Looks like they do go on with a particular orientation because there's a pretty spot and a not pretty spot. So the pretty spot goes out, so you can see that nicely. And one on the back. There we go. That's the wheel on. Now I can put the top of the piece on. Okay, so we've got a 2x4x1, and then we put this in front of it like that, and then this goes in front like that. Okay. And flip it over, and we put a 1x1 4x1. There we go. So it looks like that. Oh my. Okay. 2 more 1x4x1s on the back. Like so. And then 1x2x1s here and here. So it looks like that. Flip it over. 1x6x1s goes up the front. One poking out of the back. Near that on the other side. And now we put these on. Yeah. Okay. Kitty cat. There we go. And 2. No affiliation with Sesame Street either. Okay. And then this goes on the top. Yes. Nice. That way it locks in with the front on the windshield and nowhere else, so it's easy to lift off to put the people inside. That's a good idea. Oh. Put the person inside. Of course, we'll put the lid on, and then the next picture is have the person inside. Go ahead and put the lady down. Woohoo! Okay. Figured I'd drop something somewhere. Going through the back. Kinda, sorta. Just gonna take that off. Get her inside. Put this back on. Now I put the lid back on, or the roof back on, lid. Nice. And we're done. So I guess these are the extra pieces, just in case you lost one, is my assumption. And we are now done. Here we go. Land Rover, Defender, side view mirrors, get those angled properly. And of course there's the back. Not bad. And that is my assembly. Now for these extra pieces, I'm not sure where to put them yet. I might just throw them in the back of the truck for now. It's easy to pop the lid off. Just put all those in. Great. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little review of Lego assembly that I haven't done in well over 30 years. But yeah, there we go. Until next time.